Laudato Si is a very powerful text, environmental rhetoric text. And it is one that has the power to influence, obviously. Influence the entire world, the Catholic community, the spiritual community, world leaders all over, and environmental ethics. And so it's really important that we have the capability to understand not only what it means, not only what it says, but also look deeper and see how it has the capacity to change our understanding of our relationship with nature.
Pope Francis talks about a globalization of indifference. And I think that's an accurate description of where we are. We consume without an awareness of what we're doing to the environment, without an awareness of what we're doing to people on the other side of the globe.
Pope Francis doesn't hold back. He points out that we have basically defiled our common home, the earth. And he's provided, I think, ample evidence of how we have done that. We've degraded our water, we've degraded our air, we've degraded our soil, and as a result, it's led to a degradation of culture and society.
You can't go beyond the natural resources that exist, and that's what we're doing. And the economic model by which just about every major institution in the United States, and I would say globally, abides, is one of vast economic growth. It is a growth model. It is not a steady state economic model that would allow us to find more environmental sanity than we're experiencing now.
In our Vincentian tradition, we think that everything began with a question of Madame de Gondi to Vincent de Paul. When she saw the reality of the people of her lands, she experienced that reality, and that reality made her ask this big question: what must be done? What must be done is the literal translation of the Latin word agenda. So what is in our agenda? I think if Vincent de Paul were alive today, in his agenda, in the agenda of the Vincentian family, environmental issues will be at the top in the relationship that they have with the life of the poor and the life of marginal communities all around the world, because those communities are the communities that are being affected by the environmental crisis.
Integral ecology asks that we think more holistically about things, that we bring a very different framework of thinking about the world, that we think about society existing within nature, as part of nature, instead of thinking about society as sort of the top dog and that something that uses nature to improve our standard of living.
Integral ecology is a perspective that understands that poverty, immigration, environmental issues, educational issues, the crisis of energy, the crisis of water, all these issues interrelate in a very meaningful and integral way.
We can change the conversation, we can bend the conversation toward the poor. And often when we talk about sustainability, it's about environmental footprint, it's about recycling or energy consumption, and these things are absolutely essential, don't get me wrong. But sometimes we forget that in urban environments, the poor are often forgotten, and these two issues are connected. And that's what our Vincentian heritage and Catholic identity bring to this question, to this conversation.
I hope that these building blocks are coming into place. So a spiritual message comes out in June 2015. UN Sustainable Development Goals come out September 2015. The COP talks in Paris, the Council of the Parties, climate change talks, occurs December 2015, an agreement comes out. I mean, if these building blocks can come into place, maybe that will be enough to start to make some of these major changes. You don't have to be Catholic to read the Pope's encyclical on ecology and think it's a good thing. you can read it and see it's the right thing. It's the moral thing to do.
DePaul University is poised to participate in this conversation, to lead this conversation because of its heritage and its history. It's a place to convene people. It's a space to critically reflect on these myths of our culture that are not fulfilling. It's a place to do research in areas that are needed to help the dialogue at the UN. It's a place where people can explore and discover deep connections with each other and with the environment. And that's what we hope for in a university education in the 21st century.